Welcome to the pregame show for the second home game of the year against the Kentucky Barrels. This is The Nest, and my name is Adam Samarov, and I am with my co-host Chris Ipperly, and in the middle, the Levack sandwich, the MOATOS of the Albany Firebirds, Jeff Levack.
Oh man, the fattest sandwich meat in the business right here. That's me. How you guys doing?
Double meat.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that SNL bit. Like just
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything though.
Christmas
There's some
cookies?
great kids around.
Yep.
So I just wanted to bring this up because I think when people see it, sometimes they see MOATOS and they're like, "What is that? What does MOATOS stand for?" For all those who don't know what the MOATOS stands for.
So this year, so previously I was the team president for the Firebirds, and this year the right guy has the job. So Matt Woods is now the team president. So Mike Corder asked me what I wanted my title to be, and I didn't have one. And we were in the league meetings, and everybody's introducing themselves and they say who they are and what they do. And I went, MOATOS, I'm manager of all the other stuff, but I didn't say stuff. And everybody liked it. You know, Jeff Fisher, Jeff Jarrett, they all were like, dude, that's the name. You're MOATOS now. So it's stuck, and now I'm MOATOS.
Well, when one of the top coaches in the history of the NFL and one of the best wrestlers ever to don a pair of tights tells you that that's a good name, that's a good name.
Yeah, a guy who's getting, a 3-part Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes,
on Vice?
I'm looking forward to seeing it on Vice. Absolutely.
Can't wait.
100%. So we want to talk to you, obviously, being one of the liaisons. Oh, boy.
Special delivery Mike is behind us.
There we go. Being one of the liaisons for the league between the Firebirds and AF1. We put out a thing a few days ago.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't realize what it did. All right, get out of here. That's awesome. Spike showing his approval for the
I believe
Barrels.
that's telling Barrels they're pretty good. Yeah.
They're the stuff.
They're the stuff. They're the stuff.
It looks like Spike.
Don't forget to plug the coaches
right.
show.
Yeah, that's a different show. We're not supposed to talk about that show.
That's right. No, we're not. All right. So
liaison for the league.
You're the liaison for the league, and they put out a thing a couple days ago about the views on YouTube and HTN and Vice, and all the numbers are up. Talk about what that means, not only for the Firebirds, but the league in general, and how strong it's been here for the second year of AF1.
I mean, it's, as you guys know, there's two real metrics for success when you go to a league. It's butts and seats, and then now it's clicks and views. Like those are the two big ways you can tell if you're getting it done, if you're growing, if the message is being received. And we joked about Jeff Jarrett, but he came in, and who knows better about promoting than Double J.
I mean, started with his dad, started TNA wrestling, and obviously he's been in it for 35, 40 years almost.
100%. And so he got us in touch with a company called Sports Interactive, who's been doing a lot of great work for us. And as we've grown, we've seen that the attention gets bigger and better. Kentucky Barrels just had a video picked up by SportsCenter. So the more people who pay attention, the more people who pay attention. So it's been great. And I feel like we've got the football part down. The game you're going to see here today, 2 undefeated teams, amazing talent. Now we just got to make sure people are seeing it and learning about it, and that's where the social media growth is going to really, really pay off.
And I'll tell you, last year, one of the kind of the viral moments was one of the kickers is a bigger guy and whatever, and that became
Manny.
like a viral moment, Manny, right?
Yep.
And it was like a freak thing almost, and no offense to him or anything, but it was
right.
Look at the 300-pound kicker, and it's like now you're getting things where it's like, look at the athleticism, look at the football we have here in the AF1.
That takes me to the next question. So. The talent in this league has really improved. Why do you think that is?
I think part of it is the growth that we were just talking about. Like a lot of these guys are either getting their first chance, extending their career, trying to get noticed by the bigger leagues, the outdoor leagues. And when you have the best arena football, well, we're the only arena football league.
Right.
I mean, we're the only one with nets. We're the only ones who play the way we play. And you're getting the attention now, and people are seeing it, and they're realizing, you look at the Firebirds and Sam Castronova coming back, and, Josh Kulka is amazing. So we've got 2 great quarterbacks on one team, and then you look at who just came into town. Zeke Rose, maybe the best defensive lineman in arena football right now, and Mike Lee, a great safety, and Darius Prince, who, he's awesome. I saw him before just a little while ago, and he's still my guy. He's still awesome, but then we got Dwayne Brown, and we got all these guys. So the more the more of these great players and the bigger we can make the magnifying glass on them, they're here for two reasons. Show out on a grand stage, which is the AF1, and then potentially get picked up by the UFL, the NFL, and the sky's the limit. But you got to be seen. If nobody sees you play, it's great for the 5,000-6,000 people in the arena, but what about everybody who's in the scouting department somewhere who all of a sudden goes, you know what, this is Dwayne Brown. Oh, let's go. Isaiah Hardy, let's go. So
Yep.
I think all of that helps. The more talent you bring in, the more talent that wants to be here.
It definitely does. I mean, it's always good to see, games like today. I think the league as a whole, even as a fan, you should want more matches like this. Like you should want, best
undefeated versus undefeated. And then even, last year, the Wolfpack were up and down. And, last week they put a scare into Albany.
They played the best game I think they've ever played.
Right.
That was awesome for them.
But the idea is that 1 to 9, the thing between 1 and 9 is nowhere near as big as it was last year.
I think that's 100% true. And, I mean, last year, I think if you were being realistic, either Albany or Nashville was going to win it. You know what I mean? They were the two teams that really, really, you saw Nashville get better every week, and Albany, we were undefeated.
Right.
This year, I firmly believe that Albany, Nashville, Kentucky could beat any arena indoor team, any league, anywhere. I think they're the three just ultimately best teams out there, and then it's not a huge drop off when you look at Oregon's defense. And you just said Washington really put it together. Everybody thought we were going to win that game by 100, and we were tied at the half.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen Oceanside's kind of like they're on an island a little bit in San Diego, so we really haven't got a full chance to see them. It's every team in this league can win on their day.
I mean, look at the Renegades. Ever since the Albany game, they've turned it around. I don't think they're an easy out either. And Oregon, I think depending on how quarterback play ends up, they could be in the conversation too. I don't think there's any free lunch in any of these games.
No, but I do. Like I said, if I'm being fair and I'm being real, I just there's something about this matchup tonight. Mm-hmm. Cedric Walker. I mean, that's the last guy to beat the Firebirds. Not in this league, but he's the last guy to beat the Firebirds, and he's got a great program going. He pulled me aside. I got a bone to pick with you, and I'm like, oh crap, here we go. Sorry.
You're like, how many times have I heard that before?
Right. Well, for him, usually once a visit, but this time it was. I know you're dropping the banner because you're trying to get under my skin. I'm like, me?
What?
Yeah. So it's.
How dare you?
I mean, listen. You knew this was going to be a marquee matchup. Minnesota is they were champions in other leagues, but I see what Cedric Walker is building in Kentucky, and I know that this is a marquee matchup. Like, I know somewhere Vice is like, how did we not get this one?
Right.
How did we let this game slip? But HTN is going to be more than happy to share it with you in the AF1 YouTube.
Well, speaking of the banner reveal tonight at halftime, which is going to be awesome, and those rings, I'm blinded by that giant ring on your finger, my guy. Like it's hard to see it. We'd have to zoom in, but I'm sure it's been all over social media. It's awesome looking. Tell me what that was like to because you've been a part of this. You've had a handful of these now.
Yeah.
What was it like to get that one?
This is my first Firebird one. So I've got 3 Empire rings. I've never played it down. It's amazing when you're part of a great organization. What you do.
Big Back Levack.
Big Back Levack. Anytime now. I'm ready. When Ware wants me in, I'm ready to strap on the chin strap and get after it. This one is special. It's because this is my first one. Everybody knows that Mike Porta and I go way back, and I don't think people realize that Andy Gelcher has been great to me and my family for years and years and years. Richie says that I met him through this team, but to be able to help deliver a championship to Mike Porta and Andy Gelcher together, two guys who have probably done more for me and my family than anybody else, that meant a lot to me. And also, Damon Ware, you guys know how great he is. People who take the time to talk to him know how great he is. When everything happened the way it did back in 23, and he went down and tried to, catch lightning in a bottle with Orlando, and as soon as that season was over, Damon drove north.
Yeah.
He never went home. He came right up here, and this is home now. And for that reason, that group of guys, not to mention the players, to be a part of helping all of those guys get this ring, that I don't take it lightly at all.
Do you know anything about some of the guys that are, Zeke and Mike Lee and the guys that were part of it? Did they get their rings also, or is that something that's going to happen?
I believe they already have them. If not, they'll get them before they leave for sure. And it's, obviously Zeke led the league in sacks last year. Mike Lee, I call him crash test dummy. Like that guy, he plays with complete reckless abandonment. I pulled him aside today and I was like, dude, just remember, these are your teammates. Don't hurt them. What are you doing? And of course, guys that, like Darius Prince wasn't part of this ring, and Melvin Hollins wasn't part of this ring, but we've won together.
Right, exactly.
So it's like it's that weird feeling of before the game. It's like, I love you guys, I miss you guys, I hope everything's well, and then all that 7:05 when the kickoff happens, I hate you guys, I'll see you in 3 hours.
At that point, all you're seeing is enemy colors. So that's all it is. It's nothing personal. It's just go out there and win the football game. It doesn't matter who's wearing what.
Gotta win. It's all about winning, and we haven't. This team is built to win. I love what we've got this year.
So this week obviously big news was that Sam coming back, and what is it? You kind of mentioned it before. Like, it's a great problem to have. You have two legit starting quarterbacks. What has it been like watching him kind of do his thing? Coming back this week after being with the UFL.
It was kind of crazy. Like I really didn't expect it. I thought for sure he was going to catch on and prove to everybody outdoors what everybody in arena already knew, is that Sam Castronova is a great quarterback. The fact that's the problem that Damon Ware is going to have. It's, do I play Sam Castronova or Josh Kulka? That's a great problem to have, but. Those two are great. I saw Josh just a little while ago, and he's just the biggest smile. Led the team in pre-meal prayer, the whole nine. Like he's just a teammate. Like nobody's got no ego, but I don't think anybody's closer to no ego than Josh Kulka.
Oh no, I mean,
yeah, we talked to him, and that was definitely the vibe.
Well, I mean, yesterday during the Beautiful Lives project, I mean, he's coaching the kids up. I mean, he's taking time with these kids, and not to say that somebody else wasn't doing it, but it stood out to me because it was like. He actually did mechanics and, what we're actually doing, what the goal was, and I was super impressed. So it doesn't surprise me that, he's got a good head in his shoulders and he's able to, roll the punches and be a professional, because at the end of the day, it could change as fast as it did before.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, with Sam, he says he's got the freshest legs he's had in years.
That's dangerous for this league.
I mean, he had, I was just looking at the numbers. And because we're dropping the banner, so I want to say have some nice things set aside for Scott Noel to say, our announcer. And Sam led the team in rushing last year too, not just yards but touchdowns. So I mean, he's a dual threat guy. He's an athlete. We always joke with him when he got here, he had a dad bod. Yep. But he makes it work, and he takes the hits. He gets up, and he's a great dude. So
we had Chris went to the Beautiful Minds event yesterday and got some good pictures of him with his child, his son, I think. Yeah,
he's awesome.
So he was really good.
I think his name is Peyton. He's a pretty cool kid, man. Like, everybody loves him. He seemed to be very missed by everybody.
Oh, 100%.
So that was awesome to see.
100%. And that's the thing is, like, it's the weirdest feeling though, because on one hand you're like, yay, Sam's back. On the other hand, you're like, oh no, Sam didn't get the job. Yeah, he didn't get to go the way he was supposed to go. And then also, Josh Kulka. This is a guy who all he's done since he got the job is win. Yeah, he's got 2 Players of the Week and 1 MVP or something like that. So shared one with his brother. So it's again, they're all good people, and it's a great team, and it's a fun roster when you get right down to it.
So I have 2 questions for you. One, what is the process to name MVP of the week, offensive and defensive player of the week? Is that a coaching consensus decision, or is it a league level thing?
League level. So Gary Compton runs point on it, the director of football operations, and then there's like a committee basically that is all that they're all linked in together, and 9 times out of 10, Gary will say, okay, after that game, everybody if you didn't see how so-and-so played, if you didn't see how Josh Kulka played, make sure you go check that out, because he's going to be one of our finalists, and he'll do that straight through. And then at the end, a lot of times he'll be like, if it's up to me, it's this guy. And very rarely is he off.
Yeah.
But even if he is.
He's watched a lot of arena football over the years.
He's played a lot of it too.
He's played a lot of it.
I mean, you look at his numbers, it's frightening. Like, especially we talk about he had that game where he went back and forth with touchdown Eddie Brown here. I think he had like 7 touchdowns or something. So I mean, the guy, I call him Cool Mo G because he rolls in those tracksuits, and he's just got style. He's just got, like, you sit at a bar with Gary Compton, you're going to hear great stories. It's going to be amazing. She does all my work for me in my radio life. That's Evil D, everybody, right there. That's
Evil
it.
D.
So, perfect segue.
Hey.
Last question for us. How annoying has Guy's been this week since he's on the call?
Him and Santella are going to do it for HTN tonight.
He is no more annoying than normal, but he has such a high bar of annoyance that it's honestly, like, if stop picking on the Big O for a little bit. He's gone so far out of his way to make sure that I was freed up this week. Like, it's kind of one of those things. Like, I love teasing a guy, but like, there was a point where I was like, hey, I can do more than an hour of my own show. Like, you don't have to do all of it. No. You need to be rested. You know how MOATOS is going to be. I'm like, nobody knows what MOATOS is.
It's not this building, right?
So no, we don't know that. But he's been great. He has a tradition for big games. He goes and he gets a purple Gatorade. Doesn't always have to be grape, just has to be purple, and a Hershey bar. So I got a picture today when he was getting in the car back and headed here, and it's officially a big game. It's a picture of his Gatorade and his Hershey bar.
and honestly, they do a great job. They are fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear they're back. So since we're wrapping up here with you, I want to thank you for all your assistance that we've given this show, and obviously lending your voice to the Opportunity Knock series. That's been great. Hopefully you've enjoyed doing it. It hasn't been too much of a pain in the butt, so I just want to thank you for that.
No, as long as Adam stops hating me, everything.
I don't hate you.
No, it's you guys do a lot of great stuff for us, and we there wouldn't be a Firebirds Media Network if we didn't have the Nest, because it would just be the Clock University, but because of you guys and this show, and because of the Opportunity Knock segment that you guys built and everything, we really appreciate it. It's one thing, once you get the attention, you got to have enough stuff to keep the attention, and you guys definitely add to that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
This kid's got no shirt on. This kid's no shirt. He's ready.
He's ready.
Is that Mom? Mom's like, what are you? Oh, no?
No, doesn't like it.
She's like, I just happy he has pants on. That's all.
All right. I'm sure you have some other fires to put out before we get started.
Only 12 texts as we started talking. We'll be fine.
I figured as much. All right, Jeff Levack, the MOATOS.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we are back here on the Nest pregame show. Tonight, the matchup is the Kentucky Barrels versus the Albany Firebirds, undefeated versus undefeated, and I'm looking very forward to it. Returning home after 3 weeks in a row away from MVP Arena. What do you think? Overall for this game, obviously I think it's going to be a close game, and both teams have shown me that they can be the top dog here in AF1.
Oh, for sure. I think once you get an opportunity to. Once we get an opportunity to take a look at the tail of tape that we put together here, you're going to see here pretty quickly that's a very competitive matchup tonight. So you throw that up there. We're looking at 50.3 points for Kentucky, 48.8 for Albany.
Both offenses flying high. Defense, 34 for Kentucky, 27 for Albany. Albany offense, I think they played one more game too, so that, maybe is a little bit of the discrepancy in terms of points. I think they're 4-0 versus Kentucky's 3-0.
Yep.
But both teams, are flying high on offense, shutting people down on defense, and it may come down to who has it last.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the defensive, the defensive front for the Kentucky Barrels. We got a little bit of a package here that we'll run through, led by Zeke Rose and all his teammates up front. So we're going to run that here for you, then we'll break that down.
Low snap, throws this thing out of play.
Ball out. Get it, big dog. Get in there. 6.
Golden, Rose, and Houston Jr. trying to get after Rudy Johnson, the quarterback, as he steps back. There it is, right there. We'll see what happens. Let's check the replay. Watch this. Off of the edge, right there, smashed and twisted to the ground. I mean, who would you even give the sack to? Goes, and he's going to step back, plant that back foot, and he goes down.
Man, just basically, they just got after him, man. It also helps with number 13, DB. Rerouting the receiver to mess up that time, and that's the timing I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
They're gonna be tough. The offensive line's gonna have a tough go of it. With Zeke in the middle, and then all the rest of the crew there for the Barrels.
No, for sure. And I think the other important thing is, Coach Ware and all of his assistants have watched the same film. So, they have a different quarterback under center this week. I would expect them to have a plan for that. I mean, they kind of know what they're up against. You know what I mean? I would expect that there's going to be some plays that runs away from pressure. I expect to see some different things that maybe we haven't seen so far this year, only because you have a veteran quarterback underneath center. So, Josh did a fantastic job. Josh is 4-0. He leads the league with passing touchdowns with, I think, 20. Mm-hmm. So he averages 5 a game. So I think in the end, it's going to have to, like every other game, it starts out front. Your offensive line is going to have to protect, and even if they don't, I'm sure Coach Ware has a plan B and Rolodex ready to go. So I mean, we saw that in the Nashville championship game. I would kind of compare him to that sort of pressure that they had in the championship game. So I think there'll be periods of time where it becomes a problem. But let's not forget, they have to deal with the Albany defensive line as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, then you look at the other side of the ball. Kentucky has a heck of a squad too, and we got a little video there that we'd like to.
And I mean, like I said, both offenses, they might be 1-2 in terms of points.
Yeah.
Points scored. I think they might be 1-2. So, here we go.
He'll get it on this play. Shea Spencer hasn't lost faith in him, but it's within the offense. Got to make that catch. Spencer off to the left side. That's Desmond Epps. Colin, we talked about it on the ride down. The kind of speed he has. Barrels going into their end zone. Spencer once again looking for 6. Does he have a man there? Jalen Marshall with the touchdown grab in the back of the end zone. The Barrels breaking their scoreless drought. Great throw, great catch.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And again, on Alexander there, the guy who's not used to playing that position, I'm sure gets some reps there in practice, but going against a guy like Jalen Marshall, who anybody who knows anything about football or Ohio State football has seen him make a lot of big plays. He just had a little too much room.
Let's see where Spencer goes with the ball this time. Quick step, quick drop, quick throw. Oh! That was a great throw.
Another defender, one of the hardest hitting defenders out there on the wall. This is a great route. Watch this as he leans to the corner and gets the defensive back to move just a couple of feet over, gets him to cross his feet, and then crosses his body, making it an easy throw there for him.
3rd and long for the Barrels. Spencer has a lot of room at his feet. Looks downfield. He has Jalen Marshall, who's going to come across the field, almost gets all of it back. Is he going to get the first down? Yes, he does. That is a Barrels first down.
That is a big time play. They wanted to go with the middle motion. Darius Prince on the double move. He was covered very well. Shea got out of the pocket with a little bit of pressure. See, we're looking at our middle man there. Prince throwing his hands up. Marshall just finding the open spot.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing of it is too is Albany's got a couple of new guys in the defensive backfield because guys like Trey Wortham are on injured reserve, and some guys have been moving back and forth. So that will be a big matchup to see how the Albany defense handles the Kentucky quarterback Shea Spencer and some of those receivers, Jalen Marshall, like you said, an Ohio State guy, Darius Prince, former Firebird, former Albany player. And Desmond Epps, on there in that first play, that kind of short route and then making it happen himself. So they got some work cut out for them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this week was the first time I've really watched the Barrels game. Epps really, really impressed me. They're going to have to keep an eye on him on the return game for sure. Marshall's, in my eyes, certainly a top 3 receiver in this league. And you got Darius Prince out there too. And the other part of it is Spencer's super athletic, which is why we put that very last clip together. It's like, I think he's much like Sam.
Yeah,
like,
him and Sam are pretty even.
Yep. So you look at that, but the other thing is Albany's getting, I believe anyway, I don't know for certain, but I believe they're getting Seth Robinson back.
That'll help definitely.
I saw him in practice this week.
And you got the line obviously with Drew Singleton is down, doing his thing down there. So it's gonna, they're gonna have to protect too. It's a really even matchup.
No, definitely. I mean, like to me, like last year, watching practice, I'm like, that Trey Wortham kid is gonna be something. Watching Seth Robinson, I kind of see the same thing. A different player, but I think he can certainly make a difference back there because you also got Marcus Smith back there. So really, I think early on, just like any other game, is going to come down to communication. With that, I think it's going to be a really tight game. And, I'm not going to make a prediction, but my guess will be it's going to come down to a final possession.
I see no reason why it won't.
Yep.
So, also, a couple of news and notes. Flock Support is doing their 50-50 until halftime so they can see the banner reveal. As I would like to see the banner reveal. I'm looking forward to that. Can you run the DB thing? Do you have the camp thing on here?
No, we're not. No, I don't have. So what we're going to do?
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to bring on Coach Don Gould. He is a coach that coached Josh.
A lot of the offensive line, and we're talking about
and
these line guys that are going to have to get it done today. Here's the guy, one of the guys that really helped him out. We're going to go to a commercial here really quickly, and we'll be right back. We're back for the pregame show. Excuse me, postgame's later. To my left, we have one of the coaches for many of the offensive linemen here that play at Albany. Yep. Coach Don Gould. Coach Gould, talk about working with Josh Zacher and Colby Bird as a part of the FCS Bowl team that you coached with them.
They came in on the FCS side, and they had a really good game. Josh played center, played guard, played tackle, and Kobe was the center.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he had some health problems, and the first 3 quarters of the FCS Bowl, he spent with his head in a garbage can.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
So there was nothing to judge his play on other than the last quarter that he was in for 1 or 2 series.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he didn't get the invite to go up to the Tropical Bowl.
Okay.
As did Josh and a former player, Kevin, too. And Tropical Bowl came around. I knew they had been chosen, and when they saw him, it was like Hold Home Week. Got all set, went through our practices and our drills. And unfortunately for Kevin, he was on on the national team,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh, on the last play of practice of the last day, got collapsed on and
Oh.
developed a hip pointer,
Ah.
and he couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
What really bothered me about that is I think I'm a pretty good judge of talent,
Sure.
and I saw a lot of things, and unfortunately he was passed over
Mm-hmm.
on draft day.
All right, so next,
Again, my opinion,
Yep.
and my opinion only, he should be the center for the New York Giants and not John Schmidt.
What? What is it? To you to be up here today and be able to see these guys, continuing their drive to be professional athletes. They're getting paid to play. These guys have made it to some of the higher levels of football in this country. What does that mean to you as someone who has been a coach for them and been around them?
I got to tell you, I thought I would see something like this. These guys have really worked hard and have gotten to the point. And to me, when I coach those guys at the FCS and at the Tropical Bowl, what am I going to show them? These guys have been playing
Right.
all their lives at a high caliber.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to show them? So all I did was fine-tune things, little nuances.
Mm-hmm.
It's at that point it's tweaking. I mean, look at
Yes.
look at the NFL now, right? Like, are you going to who's going to coach CeeDee Lamb? Who's going to coach Micah Parsons, right? But you're just doing those little tweaks,
Yeah.
to up their game that much more.
Yeah, and I mean things that I told these guys when you play tackle and you got a wide 9 coming in, that straight 3 kick drop, yes, that's what the NFL wants to see. That's what the CFL wants to see. But then you're going to have to take it amongst yourself to turn around and say, am I going to continue getting beat like a rented mule, or have I got to make an adjustment? And then that's where I came in, and I said, maybe if you do this, maybe if you do that. Interior linemen were a little different. You can take and you can draw the line like I did, said, dude, this is your front doorstep.
Yeah.
This is your house over here. Nobody should get in your house.
Right. And they do it. And I mean, obviously here for the Firebirds, the last 2 years they've been winning a championship last year, and they do a really nice job of protecting. It's been Josh, and now this week it's going to be Sam again, just like last year, and I think it's going to be huge. So we appreciate you coming on, Coach Gould.
I appreciate that.
And we're looking forward to the game here. We're going to get started here. The game 26 minutes away. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later on Tuesday. The next Firebirds Weekly are going to be at Cugino's Pizzeria in Rensselaer. And I'm not sure the guest yet, right?
It's Kadir Shepard.
Oh, that's right. Kadir Shepard. That's right. We did figure that out recently. Kadir Shepard is going to be our guest on Tuesday at Cugino's Pizza. And for Chris Epperly, I'm Adam Samarov. Let's get it on.
That's right.